Just when folks had gotten used to there not being any construction in this area, it looks like they'll have some to contend with again. This time it won't be as invasive and won't last nearly as long.
Last year we had a contractor come in to relay the sewer interceptor on Water Street, about 1,200 feet south. That didn't go as planned. We wound up removing the contractor last March. We're back again this year to try to do some revisions to that project. We're going to replace this manhole behind me, the sewer manhole. That manhole has settled, and we're going to go back upstream about 25 feet and relay that 30-inch sewer.
The reason for that is there are water connections in the Memorial Hall parking lot that need to be fixed and put back together permanently. Then they'll reset the manhole to the proper elevation.
And we also want to repair this because we are having some groundwater come into the system.
If you work or live downtown, one of the first things you want to know is how bad will the traffic be? Secondly, how long will this last?
What they're going to do is a series of sheeting. Steel sheeting will be driven into the ground. We have some pretty deep excavations, about 30 feet, so we do think some traffic will be affected. We will work with the Plymouth Police Department to provide traffic in both directions. There may be some limitation on the south flow of traffic because that's where a majority of the work is. Work schedules need to be flexible because a lot of the work has to do with the tide because we have real high groundwater here, so there'll probably be longer days, 10-hour days, maybe even Saturdays. We really want the contractor to accelerate their schedule. Right now our schedule has the project being completed the first week in May, and anything we can do to accelerate that so they're done sooner is better.
Proximity to the coastline is one of the few variables that could increase that timeline because of possible contamination to the groundwater. But Jonathan Beater is pretty confident that the project will get done on time.
We told the businesses and the residents that we won't be out here past May 8th, so that's really a drop-dead date.
Several things stand out about this project, one of which is location, due to the high traffic and businesses. There's also a high groundwater flow which cascades off to the coast. And then there's the artesian effect, where the water pushes upward.
So it's really a constant battle, if you would, where we have to dewater the trench with a series of pumps. We have to keep that water clean. In Water Street, there's a lot of blue clay. The clay has a very fine consistency, so it's hard to trap that and screen that. So that's going to take a lot of time again, where we have to catch that through a series of frac tanks, where the water will get pumped from the wells into a series of frac tanks where we hope the material will settle out before it's discharged back into the drainage system, which ultimately goes into the ocean. The most important part of this project is to control groundwater. We really need to be sure we have the water out of the ground before we start doing any digging. With the depth of about 30 feet, we want to make sure that we don't have groundwater. It's not an issue. So once we feel comfortable, or the contractor is comfortable that they have control of the groundwater, they'll start their excavation. That'll be a series of trench support systems, trench shield, trench box, steel sheeting. Those will be driven into the ground, and then the excavation will start. And again, this construction work will be to repair the manhole and to replace and repair about 25 feet of sewer. In downtown Plymouth, I'm Brian Sullivan for In Depth.